Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kyla Janae. If you didn't already know, I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I really wanted to discuss the topic of struggle love, you know, especially in my generation, I guess. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Something I found myself thinking about a lot are some of us inherently born to struggle, you know, because a lot of us are born into situations that we're doomed from the beginning, or just like not the most optimal situation. So think of it in the sense that, like, if someone grew up and they've only been around like struggle love, let's say domestic violence and horrible situations, they grew up their whole childhood with that. It's not uncommon for them to seek that out when they start dating later in life. I used to think about that question a lot, like, are some of us just inherently born into struggle love, or like born to struggle? But I did catch myself, because that is a victim mindset, and I feel like once you're aware of certain things, you could kind of try to like reverse engineer your brain slowly but surely. I could see how it's so easy for people to fall into that. If we speaking real right now, a lot of us grew up in homes that might have not had the best example of what healthy love looks like and everything like that. That's just the reality. And in my personal upbringing, I was raised by a single mom, you know, who had to work a lot of jobs and, you know, go to school and balance a lot of these things. So yeah, I didn't have the ideal example of love, but I will say it did shine a lot of light on like situations I don't want. Me growing up in that environment, there's single moms all through my family. I'm the product of that. Like, I lived it and saw my mom struggle and everything like that, and it's not cute, and it's not something to really idolize, you know. So I feel like a lot of single parents, they did what they had to do to provide for their children, so they're making the best out of the situation, out of the cards they were dealt. But honestly, I just want to avoid that entirely. I don't feel like I deserve struggle love, and no one deserves that, right? But let me explain, because I have a lot of conversations with different type of people from different age groups, and you know, I'm always curious to ask about like people's relationships or like marriages or whatever. And in most of the conversations I've had, I find that like the women are always saying, you know, we've been through a lot, but we have a beautiful relationship. And so me being the nosy person I am, I'm like, oh, if you don't mind me asking, like, what are some of the things you've been through? And I find in every situation, there's always cheating. Like, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, you know, he had a baby with a different woman, you know, he stepped out at a certain point, but then now we're good, now we're stronger. I'm sorry, you could keep that struggle love. Like, I don't feel like people have to get cheated on to come out on the other end with a stronger relationship. Why? Like, why drag someone through this struggle love? And I don't want to just say it's women, because obviously women could cheat on men too. I should speak more in general terms. But yeah, by me speaking to people in real life and just like in my head comparing the different conversations, like different people, I'm like, why is it always cheating? Like, damn. I find it so rare to hear someone's situation where they've been together for long amount of years, like long term, and there was never no cheating. Just don't like that. Like, so you telling me someone has to be a ride or die to get this healthy relationship, but they're gonna drag you through the pits of hell, but in the end y'all stronger? Like, what? I'm sorry, like, what? Or it's like they dealt with huge amounts of emotional abuse, or they felt like their partner wasn't really present for them, and it's honestly, it's just a bunch of bull. Like, excuse my language, but like, why do people have to go through this struggle love to end up in a relationship? I don't want it. Finding that now that I'm getting older, my mindset surrounding love and struggle love and everything that entails is shifting, and I'm way more realistic now. So I definitely know what I don't want. I want to be honored. I want a love that goes both ways, that's very reciprocated and is genuine and is warm and is sweet. You know, I don't want something I don't want to be with someone who doesn't really understand me, okay? I feel like in society now, everything is very superficial in regards to like looks. So a lot of people will be attracted to your physical self, your physical being, but they don't give a damn about your interests. They don't give a damn to ask you questions, to get to know you. They're not really listening to you. But let me tell you, they'll love to look at you. And that's where I'm finding the struggle. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. I know a lot of people can relate to that feeling more lonely in someone's company than when you're in your own company. Because I've been on dates where literally in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, I would be having so much fun if I was home right now watching TV and eating some good food. I'm not gonna lie, like we've all been there. What I'm wanting is like genuine connection, you know, and that's so rare to find at this stage because people aren't looking to genuinely connect. I feel like people are looking for like hookups and just lust. They're looking for like a lustful connection, but they're not looking for like a genuine partnership. So I feel like now at this age that I'm at and like people I've come across, it's almost impossible to even find someone worth dating to get to that point. Granted, you're gonna struggle in any relationship, right? But the point I'm trying to make is, why does it always have to be cheating? Like, come on, what the hell? I don't think that's something we should accept, or like, I don't think also like baby mama culture, I don't think it's something we should idolize. You know, if someone's telling you like, yeah, I want to start a family with you, I could really see you as the mother of my children, this and that, it sucks because you really need to sit there and have like what's the word for it? You really need to sit there and have conversations like, okay, will there be a ring? Like, what's our relationship gonna look like? Because who you choose to have kids with, I feel like that's one of the most detrimental, important decisions you could ever make. And I'm telling you that as a product of like a single mom, and like I have obviously a bunch of friends that are going through this, family members that are going through this. So I see it firsthand in person. Like, you really need to be super picky on who you choose to bring life into the world with. You know why? Because if you guys don't have like communication, basic respect, and like share core values on how you want to raise the child, all of that is gonna be a hot mess. And you know who it's gonna affect? The child in the equation, you know what I'm saying? So everything is just gonna fall back on the child. This is like a good segue into the conversation about kids. So as a little girl, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was never the girl to like yearn for children. I never dreamt about having kids. And when I was younger, all the way up until like my 20s, I used to tell my family like, it's a hard no, like I don't want kids, you know? And I just was just like that. I feel like some women are more naturally maternal, but now that I'm older, I could definitely sit back and realize maybe my childhood had a subconscious effect on me to think that I don't want kids, because I don't hate kids, you know? I don't hate them. I have kids in my family that I love very much, but it's just, more older you get, the more life hits you, you know, things get real. It's like, I could barely afford to feed myself. So why would I sit here and fantasize about bringing children into this equation? And on top of that, I'm very selfish with my time. So there's days or like months at a time I work long hours, and like if I was to have a child, how would I find the time to spend with them? Because when I get home, I'll be knocked out, I'll be exhausted. So for me to think about these things, I could honestly say to myself, yeah, no. So I'm not saying I don't ever want to have children. I'm just saying if I do, it's like further in the future, and it's really not something I fantasize about, because there's just so many factors that come into play. It's not just a simple, yeah, I want kids. The way I think is like, okay, like this is gonna affect that, and like who is the person, and this and that. There's like so many things that in general we should think about before bringing life into this world with someone, right? But I will say, I have thought about if I were to like have kids, how would they look? I would want a mini me, like, you know, brown skin with curly hair, you know, that's more the fantasy. It's like the cute aspect, like, oh my god, I wonder how they're gonna look. But it's not like, I don't feel that urge like, oh my god, I need to pop out some kids. Like, no, I'm good. And truly, I don't think everyone should have kids. Just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should. Regardless if you're getting pressure from like society, girl, listen to yourself. You know, don't let society force you into a lifestyle that you may not be ready for. And quite frankly, I want to travel. I want to travel a lot, and I want to have a lot of money. You know, I want to spend my money on me and experiences. And when you have children, believe me, you have to be selfless. You know, it's no longer like just you. It's like you can't just up and go somewhere. Then it's like, I need a babysitter. Is my child okay? Will my child eat this and that? There's so many factors that, quite frankly, I don't want to deal with right now, and I don't have to. So yeah, that's my stance on kids when it comes to myself. So yeah, it's not a hard no for me, but like in this moment in my life, I know I'm not ready. I'm not ready, and it's not happening. Okay, the next topic I want to discuss is marriage. There's a lot of people around the world, their end all be all is marriage. Like, they're working up towards that goal, you know, settle down, get married, have kids, all that. But I'm here to tell y'all a more realistic perspective on it. Listen, marriages aren't what you think, and you really need to have discussions with married people in real life, not just people online telling you, you know, what you should look for and everything. Go out and have discussions with people that you come in contact with, like married couples, and ask both sides their experiences and learn. If you can learn through other people's experiences, like take little tad bits and formulate your own perspective, that's more ideal. And I feel like overall, marriage isn't what people assume it is, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Meaning, like, sorry, just because you're married doesn't mean you're living a happy life. You guys don't know, the reality is that there's a lot of sexless marriages, and marriages where like the couples are sleeping in separate rooms, or like they don't talk to each other, or they can't stand each other. And it's like, can you imagine there's a young girl out there dreaming from when she's younger, oh my god, I want to get married, dreaming about her wedding, dreaming about having kids, and then she finally, let's say in her 40s, I'm just gonna say at random age, in her 40s, she gets it, she's married now, just to find out she's feeling the most alone she's ever felt in her entire life. But guess what? She has a ring to show off for it. She could tell people, yes, I'm a wife. But if you're not fulfilled with the actual person, you know, what's the point of it all? And this is where I feel like my mindset is shifting from when I was a bit more young and naive, to where, like, don't get me wrong, it would be nice to get married. It would be nice to find that union, but like, it's rare. It's rare now to find like a genuine, healthy connection, you know? So it's like, it's kind of like priorities, and where should we really put our priorities as women just trying to navigate this life, you know? So that's my stance on that. I don't know if I'll have kids in the future. I don't know if I could get married. Listen, the dating market right now is horrible, and I'm gonna be honest, and it's not just I'm from New York, it's not just a New York thing. I feel like entirely, now I'm thinking, like, does genuine love even exist? I know it's coming off in a sad way, but it's really not in a sad way. It's just realistic. You know the phrase, there's someone for everyone? There's so many people, there's so many humans on this earth, but you'd be surprised just how many people are single right now in this lifetime, or how many people are in relationships and marriages and they're just not happy. It's so interesting because I feel like I'm so delusional now on how I'm like dreaming about big goals to hit in life. I dream big to myself, you know, but in my head, when I'm thinking about like romantic connections, marriage, kids, it feels so unrealistic in my head that like I can't even bring myself to see it, envisioning it truly happening. You know what I'm saying? So I find that's very interesting. I just feel like my brain's getting more and more realistic. I don't want struggle love. I don't want it. We don't deserve that, you know? No woman or no man deserves struggle love. And that's what was heavily on my mind. That's so much so that I wanted to talk about it. I'm really curious about your guys' experiences so far. Please comment them down below, especially if you feel like you are in a healthy relationship, or if you are married, or if you're single like me trying to navigate this world. I'm really curious, and we could kiki in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting me, and please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm almost at 500 subscribers and I'm really happy about that. So bye guys, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.